hosts, Eric and
Gavin. How are you?
Right, we've got a lot to go through today, so let's just go through what we have. We've got our movie news. Gavin will be taking us through that. We've got quite a few things to discuss. We've got our movie breakdown after our movie news. We've got our top 5 current television shows. That's mine and Gavin's. And then, last but not least, Clash of the Geeks.
Yep, got a bit of ground to make up on that.
So let's rip straight into it. Gavin,
Excellent.
our movie news.
Just before we start, Eric, I don't know if you know, but about 5 hours ago, the Rogue One Star Wars trailer just dropped. Let's play that and see what you think. I've watched it once. I couldn't resist. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. I want to see what you think.
Okay.
The world is coming undone. Imperial flags reign across the galaxy.
Can you be trusted without your shackles?
Let's just get this over with, shall we?
We've a mission for you. A major weapons test is imminent. We need to know how to destroy it.
If you're really doing this, I want to help.
Good.
Good. I've been recruiting for the rebellion for a long time.
We destroyed our home. I fight the Empire now.
I fear nothing. All is as the Force wills it.
The captain says you are a friend. I will not kill you.
Thanks. There isn't much time. Every day they grow stronger.
There is a 97.6% chance of failure.
He means well.
This is our chance to make a real difference. Are you with me?
All the way.
Yeah!
Oh, the return of Darth Vader.
When I watched that a few hours ago, I was like, what the hell? Where is he? Where is he? Is that yes? Oh, yeah.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what he has to do in the film. I actually thought that there already was a trailer, but you were saying...
They showed a pic, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but none of the there's been a few teaser trailers, but this is the first official trailer, and the first one with Darth in it, so it's great. And it's perfect. Just need the back of his head and that. That's all you need.
Yeah, well, I have heard that James Earl Jones is coming back to voice that part again.
Oh, gotta be. You know, who else could it be? I mean, he does it for the Rebels series, so come on here.
Oh, okay. That's a good way to start the show.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, we're Wars fans. We're going to watch this movie anyway, but no, I can't wait till December now.
I can ask you now, early prediction, what do you reckon it makes?
Oh, it doesn't make Force Awakens money.
No.
It's at least 1.5. At least
one and a half billion?
At least 1.5, yeah. I'm going to go 1.6.
1.6?
Yep.
Well, there's a lot of good feeling after Force Awakens. I think 1.5 is a good guess. I like that guess. I think it's in the ballpark of Fury 7.
Look.
The Avengers.
Just that 2 seconds of Darth's helmet and that just made you $200 million right there.
Okay. Well, know that we've got lots to get through, so...
Yeah, let's get into it. I'll be watching that about 10 more times. Okay, so first news item, Man of Steel 2 has been announced. So they're in active development. So this is from Warner Brothers. They're in active development with it. It's not clear if Zack Snyder will be directing.
He might be busy.
Sorry?
He might be busy.
Yeah, possibly. I'm sure he'll still stay on as executive producer, those kinds of things. Still no name, no date of when that's going to happen, but it is there. So if you if you still thought Superman was dead after the bits of rubble floating off his coffin and him walking out in Comic-Con and the Justice League panel, this has got to be the final nail in the coffin to go with. So there's a Superman movie. It could be. Be it's like a weekend at Kal-El's thing or something. You got Batman sitting.
Could be. Yeah. They could be carrying him around.
I'll be watching that. Come on. You know what? You know what the sad thing about that is Henry Cavill be still pulling the beeps. It's just like... All right. So, second item. Another bit of Star Wars news, actually. So, ABC in talks with a possible Star Wars series.
This is a live-action series.
Live-action series. Yeah, this will be the first live-action series. There's been Clone Wars and Rebels, of course.
Surely you haven't forgotten the Star Wars Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we won't go there.
Yeah, so, yes. I believe George Lucas still has nightmares. So, anyway, so the first live-action series, it's still in talks. I think the biggest issues is when that will take place. How do they fit it in with all the games and all the books and everything else? Yeah. Okay, so third, looks said that Jason Momoa will be leading the Crow remake. So it seems to be that he's going to make it... I talked about this before, about Aquaman. For some reason, I didn't think there was an Aquaman movie named. There certainly is. So they're thinking about making it before then. I think Aquaman comes out in about 2018. Okay. So they want to get it done before that time.
Yep.
Yeah. I could see him in that role. And for our last item... so another George R.R. Martin series, a series of books that he edited and wrote with a number of other people called Wildcards. It's about a group of superheroes, and basically it's set in World War II. There's been an alien virus attack. And they create these superhuman types people. So they're looking at developing the series. And that will be under HBO. Oh no, sorry, that will be under Showtime. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So those are items. Anything catch your eye you want to talk about?
Well, we've had a bit of a Star Wars thing, so I suppose we should talk about George R.R. Martin's Wildcards.
Yeah.
Because his obviously Game of Thrones, one of the most popular, if not the most popular TV series on the air at the moment, coming to an end soon.
Yeah.
So he's going to be looking for maybe another cash cow.
Well, it doesn't look like he's going to be actively involved in it. It looks like Melinda M. Snodgrass, who wrote and is like the co-editor of the series, will be doing the bulk of the work, because he's still contracted to HBO, and he'll be working on...
he's pretty busy.
Yeah, on Winds of Winter. So, he probably won't have a lot to do with it.
And he's still got to finish his books too, so...
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But still in good hands. It's a really interesting series. Nothing I've come across before, but it came out, I think the first one was published around 1987. And there's been just... it started off as a game that was given to George R.R. Martin. And he developed it into a book, and then... Melinda M. Snodgrass did a series, and all these, and he sort of invited people in to to write their own stories within this universe. And there's heaps of them now. There's about 30 authors apparently who have all had their hands in this. So so it's not just his property. And so there's a lot of material to draw from.
That's really interesting because George R.R. Martin, superheroes, put that together. Someone said that's got to be a hit.
Oh, yeah. So, some studio execs going, cha-ching!
Yeah.
Go on. Yeah, that's money in the bank, surely.
And I guess the other one I want to talk about is the more Star Wars stuff, the Star Wars series.
Sure.
What are we looking at there? Are they gonna? Is it going to be set in before the attack on Yavin?
It's still in talks. I mean, I certainly don't think they're going to be in the period they're in now.
Yeah.
Because
30 years later.
Yeah, the cinema universe wouldn't want them muddying the waters. They want to keep it go wherever they want. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Personally, I like to see something like the Old Republic. That sounds pretty cool to me.
Very good.
Yeah, but or even take it, away somewhere else. I mean, the universe is a big place. As long as it's got that flavour, I'll be happy to see it.
I wonder if they might be, because I know that there was a lot of questions. What were these guys up to between Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens? So there's a good 20 odd years that haven't been explored.
Yeah, and I know there's a couple of books in there, but they're more kind of like anthology books. They sort of just it's like this happened and that happened without any really detail to it. So there's plenty of material in there, and that would be pretty cool. I'd like to see what Luke was up to.
The issue with that, of course, is they would have to recast those parts, the famous parts, Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, to actually make that work. So it probably Knights of the Old Republic. Oh, I think that's my guess. That's where they'll go.
There's some great stories, which is no longer canon, which they could follow. That would be awesome. Yeah. I don't care as long as it's made. Any Star Wars is good for me.
Right. Okay.
Moving
to
on.
our weekly box offices.
All right. So at the US box office, we have Suicide, no surprises, coming at number one, smashing the previous records of a whopping 133,682,000. Beating out Guardians of the Galaxy was the previous best opening in August. Then you got Jason Bourne coming at 22,405,000. Bad Moms coming in at 14,004,000. Secret Life of Pets at 11,500,000. And at number 5, Star Trek Beyond, 10,036,000. All right. So in the New Zealand box office, just a note too. My two previous readings of the New Zealand box office, I forgot to convert the money over from because it was in American dollars. So now we have it on New Zealand dollars, and it's a bit more accurate. Okay. So at number 1 again is Suicide Squad with 2,221,000. Jason Bourne at 479,000. Poi Air doing very well on its opening weekend at 198,000. And Star Trek Beyond at 136,000. Pretty good for them. And Ghostbusters coming in at number 5 at 82,995. Any thoughts about that?
Well, Poi Air is up against some stiff competition. Suicide Squad seems to be crushing all other movies left, right, and centre. Considering Suicide Squad's total is for 3 days.
Yeah, it's the 4th to the 7th.
So 7. It's pretty good. 4 days altogether.
Yeah,
that's a decent amount. So it seems that at the beginning, anyway, people don't seem to be listening to all the bad reviews that are especially coming up on Rotten Tomatoes. They're actually going out to see the movie.
Yeah, which is good. Make up your own minds about it. I mean, there's definite issues with it, but you don't have any preconceived ideas. You just go in to enjoy yourself, and you're going to have a fun time. I guarantee it.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah, I just wanted to comment on in the New Zealand box office. Not a bad drop. New Zealand audiences are obviously liking that movie. I think it was around about a 60% drop in America, and that's significantly less here.
Okay.
All right, so opening this week, we have Absolutely Fabulous, the movie, which is sees Ed and Patsy doing their thing, drunken parties and such.
Pretty much the same as usual.
Pretty much the same as usual, yep. So if you like that program, you'd probably get a kick out of this movie. And another movie, which I really like, I've been lucky enough to see this movie, Green Room, which opens this weekend as well. Now, Green Room is the last movie with Anton Yelchin as the leading actor. And it's by a director. His name is Jeremy Saunier, and he's done another movie I've seen, which is Blue Ruin. Again, very gritty, quite graphic in the violence, but sort of a realism to that graphicness, kind of like Once Were Warriors, that kind of thing. You know, it's not gratuitous, but it's just like this is just what it's about. You know. Good movie. Highly recommend you go out and see that. Have you had a chance to see that?
No, I've not seen that movie. To be honest, I've not heard of it at all.
Oh, really?
Oh, I did hear about it because of Anton Yelchin's death.
Sure.
They said that this movie was coming out, but no, I've not heard of it. Is it a thriller, action?
It's a thriller horror. Thriller, it's a good movie. Do yourself a favour, go out and watch that one, definitely.
He was in the remake of Fright Night some years ago.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. First time I come across him was in Hearts in Atlantis. Yeah, the Stephen King adaptation. Yeah.
Okay, now on to our next section, something we call Movie Breakdown. And Movie Breakdown is sort of a review or something from some time ago. In this case, we're talking about Guardians of the Galaxy. This is a review I did in 2014 when that movie was out. And the reason why we're doing Guardians of the Galaxy is Guardians of the Galaxy is comparable to Suicide Squad.
Sure, yeah.
In that it's a team-up movie of lesser-known heroes. In this case, Suicide Squad obviously is sort of lesser-known villains. But a similar concept, Marvel really went out on a limb. So let's go through that. It could have been called a space romp with a classic soundtrack, but Marvel decided Guardians of the Galaxy was a better title. With, at that time, almost $6.4 billion from 9 movies so far in the ever-expanding Marvel Cinematic Universe, who would argue with the choices they make? While it caters to most people, some of the humour might be over the head of the younger viewers, which is just as well a certain coloured light and uncomfortable example. Chris Pratt performs with his usual amount of swagger, charm and goofiness that has made him Hollywood's go-to guy for the role of oblivious hero that rises to the challenge in everything from Parks and Recreation to a rather more serious role in Moneyball to the Lego Movie. He's backed up by the second best wrestler turned actor Dave Bautista, a much less annoying Zoe Saldana, who was rather irritating in her second turn as the nagging Uhura in Star Trek Into Darkness, and a fine performance from Vin Diesel as the monosyllabic Groot. The standout performance comes from Bradley Cooper as the genetically engineered Rocket Raccoon, providing laughs, action, and moments of genuine tenderness. While the action unfolds, and there is plenty, and the story plays out, you might start to wonder, what has all this got to do with the events on the Marvel Cinematic Universe's version of Earth? There are two things. One is a post-credit scene from Marvel's Avengers. The second is the awesome mixtape, Volume 1. In much the same way Peter Quill uses the mixtape to maintain his connection with those left behind on Earth, we are reminded of our own past via some fantastic songs from the 70s and 80s. It's a shame, or perhaps a blessing, that there wasn't more room in the cinema aisles so we could dance with Star-Lord across the galaxy. Yeah, so obviously I thought that movie was pretty good. Came out 2 years ago. It certainly was something unexpected. The opening scene to that was very memorable, with Star-Lord dancing across the screen.
Yeah, and it really set the tone for the rest of the movie. So,
Yeah.
we're going to have some fun with this, yeah.
Yeah, so how did you receive that movie?
Oh, it's great. It is my son Daniel's. It is still his favourite
Is that
Marvel
really?
movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a load of fun. It's a load of laughs. Great music, so it always keeps you entertained. And being with those characters, it's a lot of fun to be with those characters. Yeah.
For me, I'm really looking forward to how these characters are going to react with the rest of the Marvel Universe, with the Avengers and Infinity War.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's great that they went there. I mean, because there's some bizarre places you can go to in the Marvel Universe outside of Earth, you know, some pretty trippy stuff. So it's cool, and I'm sure we're going to see a bit of that flavour in the next one.
And I think that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to open up the door to say it's not only on Earth, it's all over the galaxy.
Yeah.
So it really opened the door for that big bad, which of course is... Our big bad is
Thanos.
Thanos, of course. Everybody knew who Thanos was at the end of Avengers, didn't we? Okay. Moving on to our top TV series. Last week I went first.
Yep.
So top 5 TV series at the moment.
It's me.
Gavin, what have you got for us?
Yeah, look, there were a few TV items in the thing, so I thought this would be a good chance to talk about our favourites TV series. My first one is... Oh, this just turned off. Legends of Tomorrow. This is the third spin-off from Arrow, from CW. And I know it's not the best of them, but I love it. I get a kick out of this program. It's certainly the first superhero group team.
This is kind of like Suicide Squad.
And it kind of like Suicide Squad's better than this. But it's a fun thing. It's got a bit of Doctor Who flavour in there. So yeah, I get a kick out of it. So I like that. That's my number 5.
Okay.
At number 4, I got Star Wars Rebels. Now, if you haven't seen this is an awesome animated series. Same guys who did Clone Wars. Dave Filoni, actually. Dave Filoni is really like the heir apparent, in my opinion, to George Lucas. He knows all things Star Wars. He really does. And he's often been referred to as George Lucas's Padawan. So, and there's only a matter of time before he directs his own Star Wars movie, by the way.
So is this better than Clone Wars then?
Oh, don't even compare to Clone Wars. Yeah, I stopped watching Clone Wars about after season 3, I think.
Yeah,
it just got
didn't go on that much longer.
Yeah, and this is great. And some of the scenes, if you haven't seen it, you get a bit of a Darth Vader flavour in there, and the voice talent in there is amazing.
They don't muck around; they get the real Darth Vader.
Yeah.
James Earl Jones does Darth Vader.
The man.
Yeah. They have Lando Calrissian.
Yep.
Billy D. Williams comes to this.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's done through Disney XD, so it's it's a cartoon for children, but there's a slightly more serious tone for it because it is through XD. Yeah, so it's looking pretty good.
Of course, Sarah Michelle Gellar has appeared in that.
Yep.
And also her husband.
Yeah, Freddie Prinze plays Jedi. His name is Kanan, and he's sort of training this young one who's the one in the front of the picture there, Ezra, and he's someone who's going to be a very powerful. Good or bad? Not sure yet.
Might see him in the movies. You never know.
Yeah, well, there's been talk about that. If you don't know the program, it's set about 5 years before A New Hope. Yeah, so
I wonder if he'll pop up in Rogue One.
Exactly. You know, if they aren't there and there's no conversation with them, you got to think. Yes. So that's pretty interesting anyway. just one more note about that. Season 3 has been named and it's out in about 6 weeks' time, September 24th. So have a look at that. Okay, and my number 3, Stranger Things. Stranger Things is a new Netflix series. Just for the first season this year. Amazing program. It's set in the 80s around this group of kids. It is an homage to John Carpenter, Stephen King, and Spielberg. And if those three got together, made a TV program, this is what it would look like. I guarantee it is. It's created by these guys called the Duffer Brothers. They did a movie called Hidden, which is quite good. Alexander Skarsgård is in it. It's really a really good watch. And those people who have seen it, it's rating really high on Rotten Tomatoes. Those people who have seen it just can't stop.
This just came out this year, didn't it?
Yeah, it just came out this year. And this is one of those Netflix series where they just drop the whole thing.
Well, I tell you, Netflix have been coming out with some dynamite series recently.
Mate, killing it.
They are a company that seems to be going from strength to strength.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
And that's my 3. What do you got?
Okay, my number 5. I bet you won't guess this one. It is an anime called Sword Art Online.
Never seen this one.
Yeah, it's out of Japan. It's been released on one of the channels in the US, and it actually comes on Sky.
Okay.
Sky Z.
Yep.
Channel Z comes on after Attack on Titan.
Right.
It's a story from the light novels by Riki Kawahara, Japanese writer.
Mm-hmm.
His stuff
he's not German. Sounds.
He writes his stuff and then it gets translated. It takes a couple of years for stuff to actually come into the English-speaking world. But it's a story about a guy who in the near future, in the 2020s, they create a virtual reality that you actually go inside. And it's not just like you're wearing goggles. You actually are immersed into the world. And he gets trapped inside this world. And the only way all the people inside of this world can get out, 10,000 people, is to actually fight through the game and defeat the boss at the end. There's 100 levels to conquer before they can do that.
Okay.
So it's a really interesting book. Very interesting series. He does good characters. Some people say he's a little simplistic, but I like it. It's probably my guilty pleasure, if anything.
Kind of like my Legions of Tomorrow, then.
Could be, because that didn't rate too highly with me. But each to their own, I gotta say.
Look, I'm a big fan of the manga stuff and all that. So I'm definitely gonna check this out.
Okay, my number 4. I guess that since I'm a big fan of the Marvel series, and we were just talking about Netflix, Daredevil came out a couple of years ago now.
Yeah, that's good.
It certainly was. The fighting in it was just superb. So realistic, because this is a guy that doesn't have super strength.
Yeah.
He's got different type of superpowers. So when he beats people up, he can't like take them out with one punch and they're out. He punches them, and then after sort of 30 seconds, you see them stagger and get up and then join the fray. It's so brutal, but also the stories in it are really good. I like the characterizations. The lead actor is really great. He was on a movie called Stardust that I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
Little,
very underappreciated movie. That one. Definitely go and watch it. Matthew Vaughn. Great man.
Matthew Vaughn. He does some very good movies, underrated movies. Layer Cake.
Absolutely.
Some really good movies. I enjoyed this. I like the way Netflix released their series too, because it's great for binge watching all this stuff. So Daredevil, if you haven't watched that series, you should get it. I think Netflix, watch it as soon as you can.
I reckon it's the best hand-to-hand combat in any TV series.
Yeah, without someone having superpowers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But
And it's great. It's like he's fighting all these guys, and you see him, he's tired, he's having a little rest, you know? This is real.
It's so realistic. That is so realistic. Okay, moving on to my number 3. Anyone who knows me will know that I'm a big science fiction fan, so of course Doctor Who would have to feature in my top 5.
Ooh, number 3.
Yeah. Doctor Who has certainly the quality of the Doctor Who series, I would say, has increased and decreased throughout the years, but in about 2005 there was some amazing Doctor Who series came out. They modernized it. They actually got a decent budget. The special effects improved. Yeah, Russell T Davies, he brought that series back. And of course the actual the new Doctor that they had, he was revolutionary, to be honest, because most of the Doctors have been a little bit quirky, but this one was quite real. He seemed to be scarred. There was many layers to these Doctors. I really enjoyed the Doctor, the number 9, and of course David Tennant, probably my favourite Doctor.
Sure.
The 10th Doctor, he had a fantastic run on that series as well. So that's it. That's my number 3. Gavin, back to you for your number 2.
Sure, you might be hearing more of that one. Okay. Number 2 is that's for me. So Doctor Who again. I won't go into too much. I think my favourite Doctor. Yeah, I still like the first one on the restart, Christopher Eccleston.
Yeah.
I was a fan of his anyway. I think the first time I saw him was in a movie called Shallow Grave with Kerry Fox.
Yeah.
Kiwi's
Actress. Yeah.
And he's a really good actor. I would have liked to have seen him do at least 1 or 2 more seasons of it, quite frankly. But well.
Yeah. That was sad when because it was a fantastic ending, but it was sad when he finished after only 1 season. I would have definitely liked to have seen that Doctor more.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just thinking about when it finished. It was around 1989, something like that, when it finished the first time.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. The special effects on it was shockingly bad. I mean, programs on TV like Star Trek Next Generation. There was some good ability to do some good stuff.
Pretty good special effects, but they just didn't want to spend the money, and
yeah,
that's unfortunate though.
Yeah. Okay, and I just did my number 2. Back to you.
Okay, my number 2 is Sherlock. Now, while I like Russell T Davies, I have really enjoyed Stephen Moffat. He has done really well with Doctor Who, but he also does the series Sherlock, and there's a couple of fantastic English actors in that.
Yeah,
and of course Benedict Cumberbatch. He seems to be in a lot of movies of late, but he's just such an intense Sherlock. This is my favourite Sherlock. I enjoyed the Sherlocks that they've had, the Sherlock Holmes that they've had. Robert Downey Jr. did a pretty good Sherlock Holmes, but this modern Sherlock is just so complex, and he's layered. You hate him, but you love him. He's just fantastic, and his intellect, it just shines through this pretty despicable character at times. So if you haven't seen the Sherlock series, you are missing something fantastic. Some of the best BBC TV, some of the best TV, full stop.
Yeah.
Even Harrison Ford likes Benedict Cumberbatch. So Sherlock,
Harrison Ford these days, he doesn't like anything.
Sherlock, you should go watch that series if you haven't already. There's some talk, I think Gavin might have been saying it, that the next series is not going to be until 2018.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was from memory. They did announce that at Comic-Con, and I was pretty sure they said that probably not till 2018 because of schedules and whatnot.
Right, and both these guys will be pretty busy. Martin Freeman is off doing the thing. He was, of course, in the Hobbit series.
Yeah.
But if they can get these guys back together and do another Sherlock series, everyone will be happy. Probably most of all the BBC.
Yeah, oh, they're definitely they're keen. It's just about working everything out and getting it done. Love the series too myself, and it would have been in my top 5, probably very, very high. But I took it out because it's so intermittent in terms of when it happens and how many series you get.
3 episodes a year.
Yeah,
And then
if you're lucky. If you're lucky.
And it's like every other year. And I think last year they just had that one Christmas special episode.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they are movie lengths, so that's cool. But,
okay, number 1.
Okay, so my number 1 is it? Yeah, look at that. Come on, there's probably no surprise there. Game of Thrones. It has redefined television. It really has. What you can achieve on television, what the kinds of stories you can tell. It's just TV now is so much better because of this program.
I just think when I was a kid and the TV programs I used to watch, and I see the TV programs available now, holy crap, they are just...
I mean, I used to love me some 80s flavor, the A-Team, Magnum P.I., but come on, it's got nothing. This you would go to the movies to watch this kind of stuff. It is amazing. And now you've got 2 more seasons. My God, sucks. Oh well, but that is number 1. Redefine television as it is now, and we with the programs that are coming out now. Because I mean, I look at the series within my top 5. These are very, very new series. They're and it's all for me that they have to try and keep up with this. So that's my number 5. What you got?
Well, you know what? I got to say that sometimes people just get sucked in by the hype. So, I mean, I'm going to have to say that my number 1 TV series is Game of Thrones. Of course. It's not the hype, though. It's actually a really fantastic series. Season 1, Ned Stark gets his head chopped off. What? Isn't he the main actor? But of course he is Sean Bean, and Sean Bean seems to die and everything.
Probably should have predicted that.
But, I mean, they just love killing off these main characters. It's just fantastic. So, no one is safe in this film. I guess some people might be safe. I guess Daenerys might actually last a bit longer.
I gotta say, I was pretty pissed off at the end of season 5. When Jon Snow... Oh, spoilers if you haven't seen it. Just mute this for a little bit. When Jon Snow, when he dies at the end of season 5, I was like, what the fuck? What's going on here?
Hell?
There's no way he can die.
I've heard so many funny stories about that, though. Apparently, this one quick story. The actor who plays Jon Snow is a Carrington, right? He's pulled over by a cop, and then he's going to get a ticket. And then the cop looks at him and recognizes who he is, and he goes, "Are you back for the next season?" And then he goes, "Yeah, I'm back. I didn't die." And he goes, "You can go." So, Game of Thrones, though, just like Gavin said, movie quality, special effects, the characters are just so lovable. They're also despicable. You hate them, but you really love them. I mean, my favorite episode, and it wasn't a particularly flash episode, was the episode where Joffrey dies. I just look like, yes, yes, die, you little punk. But of course, there's these fantastic episodes. I remember the Red Wedding. That was just so heartbreaking, just the way they did it. Ned Stark getting his head chopped off. The end of season 6, I'm not going to tell you, but boy, is it a fantastic ending. But then the episodes before that as well. Yeah. Gosh, there is just there's so much money spent. And, the battle, the cinematic battle, the Battle of the Bastards was the name of the episode. Gosh, that is such a good series. So well done. George, the 6th season didn't follow the books because the books haven't been written past that.
Yeah. Although
certain elements.
Yeah, George explained to them what's going to happen in the Winds of Winter.
Yeah.
And I think he said, "Oh, just in case I die, this is what's going to happen."
Well, I mean, so we are looking forward to the next series. I mean, winter's coming.
Yeah. No, winter is here.
Winter's here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, with all the stuff that's happening around, it's all coming together, and we still have to worry about winter. So, yeah, fantastic stuff.
Yeah.
Truly worthy of being the number one, our number one TV series.
Yeah.
And, of course, the most pirated TV series in history.
Yeah.
There's a reason for that. It's because it's so damn good.
Yeah. I announced, and we talked about it in I think it was our last video, maybe it was the first one, that it's going to be released a little bit later next year. And that's because winter is here, and they have to wait till winter before they can film. So
Okay, so now let's move on to our final section, Clash of the Geeks.
yeah.
Okay, just an update on where we were before. Our Clash of the Geeks competition is running over a month. We've had 2 weeks so far. I'm currently 1 point ahead, 6 points to Gavin's 5. It's very, very close. Anybody can win. Let's get into it.
Yeah. Look, so we don't have to come up with our own questions, and we can keep it all sort of fair. We finally got some cards, and we'll read our questions over there.
Okay, so I can just...
Who was first last time? I don't remember.
I think you were first.
Okay, so it must be my turn.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, I think you can pick a random card.
Okay, let's pick the one. Okay. Same numbers, right?
Yeah.
Which military leader was played by Errol Flynn in the 1941 movie They Died with Their Boots On?
Military leader. Errol Flynn. General George Custer.
Correct. For which 1984 war drama did Mike Oldfield write the music? For which 1984 war drama did Mike Oldfield write the music?
Local hero?
Was The Killing Fields. What was the particular aspect of the movies? For what particular aspect of the movies is John Williams famed?
He writes film scores, so he's a composer.
Make sure. All right. That is correct. John Williams, the man. And a couple of these ones. Okay. For your fourth question. In Spielberg's 1982 classic E.T., the extraterrestrial, who plays Elliot's younger sister?
Drew Barrymore.
Correct. In the 1987 thriller Fatal Attraction, what animal did the obsessed woman cook on the stove?
Ooh, cat?
Is that your answer?
Yeah.
It was their pet rabbit.
3 out of 5. That puts me on 9. Okay. Gonna grab a random card.
Right. Put my thinking face on. Oh, it's my bad.
Okay. Which 1970 movie of a rock album marked Sting's acting debut? Which 1979 movie of a rock album marked Sting's acting debut?
Not sure. Tommy?
Quadrophenia.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's right.
True. I didn't know that one at all. Which nightclub was a 2001 box office success? Which nightclub was a 2001 box office success?
Studio 54. Nightclub. Sorry, can you read it again once more?
Which nightclub was a 2001 box office success?
I'm guessing they're referring to a movie.
Correct, they are referring to a movie.
Studio 54, surely.
Studio 54?
Yeah.
Moulin Rouge.
Oh, right.
Okay. What completes the title of this 1982 Woody Allen movie, A Midsummer Night's?
Ooh.
Boy, these are tough.
Dream.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's sex comedy.
Mm.
Boy. In the movie The Matrix, what color pill did Neo take? The red pill or the blue pill?
He took the red pill.
Ooh,
Never, because he says, "Why didn't I take the blue pill?" That's what Joe Pelamonte, Pellamino.
I remember answering that in a quiz and getting it wrong. Correct. And the last question is, who directed Taxi Driver?
Scorsese.
Scorsese. Very good.
Can I get 5 of those questions?
Boy, the card was pretty hard.
I'm going to have to change my numbers, I think.
Okay, so that was 2. I got 3, so we got 9 versus 7. 9 versus 7. Got a little lead, but that could easily be pulled back in the final week. Next week, we're going to find out who's going to be the winner of our monthly Clash of the Geeks.
Yep.
And we're
So,
going to
oh man, I'm going to have to do very well next week, and hope you get a couple wrong.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, that was pretty quick. We ripped through all that, but I was really psyched to see the new Rogue One trailer.
December. Bring it
I'll
on.
tell you, I don't really show much emotion on the outside, but I was thinking to myself when I was about 11 years old, 10 years old, I watched the trailer to Empire Strikes Back, and that was the first time I saw the AT Walkers.
No,
Ooh, and I saw them again there, and I just love those things. They're so slow, but they're
so
really
happy.
Yeah. So that is really looking great, and some fantastic talent on tap there. Looking forward to seeing Darth again. Let's see what he has to, what he's up to.
Yeah. I wonder how much he's going to be in the movie, and who's he going to be killing? That's what
I can't think that he's going to be a main character, because this certainly is a story about the rogue rebels.
Yeah, it seems to be the main antagonist seems to be Grand Moff Tarkin.
Yeah.
But he's definitely going to be in there doing some damage.
Right. Okay, well, hopefully you've enjoyed the show. We have. We really enjoyed bringing this to you. And we hope that you will join us next week for the final of our Clash of the Geeks challenge.
Absolutely.
Or even more great Hollywood news, film news, TV news, and all that good stuff. It's goodbye from me. What have you got, Gavin?
Hey, just remember, subscribe, like, do all those good things. Dislike if you like, and let us know why, so we can maybe make some changes. It's all good. We're just learning, and just having a little fun doing it. So any advice, certainly welcome.
Okay.
Anyway, good to see you. See you later.
Peace.